Hello, and welcome to Beyond Books, where we talk about books and beyond. I'm your host. I'm Renee, co-host Raina, who we all know and love. And today I have for you my December wrap-up. It is December 23rd, so it's the day before Christmas, or as some people call it, Christmas Eve. And there's still a week left in the month and subsequently in the year as well, but time's running out pretty fast. So I want to do my wrap up. And even though I have just started a new book, which I may finish in December, but then again, I may not. This is Tampa Heat by Thad Diaz. And I showed this book previously on my channel. I had picked this up when I was in Florida last month when I visited there. And Mr. Diaz is a veteran firefighter. He was a firefighter in Tampa for 25 years. And during that time, he wrote a few science fiction novels, actually under a different name. But now he has this series, which is about a firefighter as well. Firefighter's name is Logan Walsh, and there are about 6 books, I think, in this series so far. I will put a link to those in the description box, and also when I do my January TBR and wrap up, I'll make sure that I let you know what I thought about this book. So next we have A Cup of Gloom. This is by Alfie and Annabelle. And these authors and their stories are new to me. They apparently watch my channel, and they sent me 2 of their titles. This was one. And this was a fun read. It's a cozy mystery, mostly, I would say, with a few surprises. Now, the book takes place in Oregon. It features an older woman whose father was a war hero in the town. And he commanded a submarine that was torpedoed by the Japanese during World War II. But now, in the present day, it is one of the anniversaries of the event, and this woman is getting messages that all she ever knew about her father, his submarine, and his crew members may not actually be the true story. So she does some investigating to try to find out the answers to what truly happened that day with her father and the submarine off of the northern Pacific coast. Besides the fact that this was sent to me, and I promised that I would discuss it on my channel, it actually made a great Pearl Harbor World War II commemoration read for the month of December. So I really enjoyed it very much. And thanks again, Alfie and Annabelle. I will put a link in the description to the author's website. Next up was another freebie, if you want to call it that. This is an advanced reader's copy that I received from Goodreads. This is called A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. This is a thriller that takes place in an isolated, snowy, not really cabin. It's actually a grand lodge with several cabins at the home of her fiance. And now I did a full review of this, and I will link that below. I enjoyed it very much, and this is the actual second book that I read by this same author, both of it which were very good. Now, this book will be out in its finished form in February of 2025. Next up is another fun one. This is Deck the Hounds by David Rosenfelt. This is a cozy mystery for sure. There is a pregnant dog, and then later in the story, a litter of puppies who are kind of minor characters in the story. This is part of the Andy Carpenter series. I've talked about these books before on my channel. They're fun reads. I've also read Dachshund Through the Snow. That's what I read last year at Christmas time. And there are multiple books in the series, I think 30 some odd books, actually. I enjoy them, and I would definitely consider reading other books in the series as well. So that brings us to a book that I just finished yesterday. And that book is 5 Decembers by James Kestrel. This is a part of the Hard Case crime series. It looks like a very retro book as far as the depiction on the cover. And in a sense it is. It takes place in December of 1941 through December of 1945. So 5 Decembers. But it was written in 2021. And now during this time in our history, World War II had already started, but these particular years, 41 through 45, were the years of the U.S. involvement in the war. So the book starts out in Honolulu, just before Pearl Harbor happens. Now, the main character is Joe McGrady. He is a detective who gets assigned to a very difficult case involving the torture and murder of 2 young people. So now there's going to be just a slight spoiler here so I can kind of lay out what the story is, because it's a little bit unusual. They turn out to be actually high-profile people in one way or another. And despite the fact that it's 1941 and there's no DNA testing, nor are there cell phones or the internet, Detective McGrady is still able to identify a suspect who has ties to Hong Kong. So McGrady gets sent to Hong Kong to investigate, and shortly after he gets there, 2 things actually happen. One is Pearl Harbor, and then the other is the Japanese invasion of Hong Kong. The Japanese were really on the move and had already taken over actually a lot of the world at that point and were ready to go for more. So McGrady ends up getting swept up with other civilians as a prisoner of the Japanese, and he is brought to Japan. However, luckily for him, someone knows that he's there, and this someone also has some ties to the case, as well as a little bit of power there in Japan. So it's a very international story, mostly taking place in the 3 cities, Honolulu, Hong Kong, and Tokyo. It's somewhat of a war story. There is some romance in the story, as you would expect by the cover. But overall, it's just an amazing crime story, and it's great historical fiction about an interesting era in our history. So I would definitely read other work by this author, James Kestrel. It was a very, very good read for me. Highly recommend. So now, lastly, I read this book on my Kindle. Let me get it going here. This is a book of poetry. Go. Oh boy. That's when it wants to restart and do updates and things like that, right? So we'll have to do that in a minute. Let's see. See if I can even get it going here. I don't think I can. All right. I will have to show you the cover of that at a later date. But the book is called The Little Book of Heart Medicine, and it is by an author by the name of Jed Thompson, Gedthompson. The book was published in 2023, and I saw someone on YouTube sing one of the poems, which is called The Traveler, on his channel. And his name is Ben Murray, and that's the name of his channel as well. So I'll put a link to that below. Anyway, I ended up purchasing the Kindle version of the book of poems since I liked The Traveler so much. And then I thought I might just read a few of the poems here and there. But I ended up reading the book from cover to cover one Sunday afternoon because I liked the poems so much, and I think they're that good. I may actually read several of them on my channel one day because I think that would be nice. Again, I'll link Ben Murray's channel and also Jed Thompson's website below so that you can take a better look at that. Also, I read these two books on my channel recently. I will link both of these in the video description below. One is, sorry, Raina. One is Robert Frost, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. The other is The Night Before Christmas, Clement C. Moore. Both have wonderful illustrations, and yeah, they're just short videos, but probably worth taking a look at. So that's my December wrap-up. Now, I believe I've read somewhere around, I think, 70, 75 books this year. It's more than usual for me. And now this month, I did want to let you know, I did order a book from Book of the Month. However, it did not arrive. It's not really their fault. I think there were like some new people, temporary people, whatever, helping out from the post office, and they weren't able to find my address because the Christmas wreath on the door had moved over and covered up the house number. So they sent back the package saying there was no such address. So I'll have to talk about that book later at some point. It's not like I don't have plenty of things to read, so I was fine. But yeah, that happened. I'll probably do a couple more tags for 2024 because there's actually 2 more Tuesdays left in 2024. And then next week, I will also have some travel videos for you. Where am I going? Let's see. It's not Buc-ee's this time. I don't think we'll be stopping at Buc-ee's, but if I happen to find one, I'll let you know. But in general, it's going to be something a little more quiet and peaceful. But I am traveling after Christmas. Christmas will be spent here with friends and a nice dinner, which we are hosting. So there's a lot of things that I have to do to get prepared for that. But I do want to say Merry Christmas to all of you. Raina wants to say Merry Christmas as well to you, your family, and any pets that you may have. I want to thank you so much for watching my channel and for always commenting and being so kind. I hope all of you have a truly joyous holiday. Take care.